April has done for me. She makes me feel heard in a way I haven't allowed myself to be heard before. Cynthia tried and tried, but it was hard to accept that kind of help from her because I was jealous of her neurotypical brain, and I was convinced she could never understand. What April does is make me feel one of many. Most of all, she makes me feel as though what I've been going through is completely and utterly normal, which is something I haven't felt about myself in a very long time. Perhaps ever. I guess, I say, what pisses me off the most is that I have to sit here and actively work on accepting myself, whereas for most people, self-acceptance isn't even something they have to give much thought to. I would disagree with you there, April says, because you have the key, Anna. You don't know how to use it yet, but you already have the key to unlocking your self-acceptance. So many people, whether they are neurotypical or neurodiverse, don't. You're the one with a huge advantage in this scenario. April has a way of twisting my words so that I'm forced to see things differently, which is not so easy for me to do. Let me ask you this. A dimple appears in her cheek, so I brace myself, because I know she's going to slap me around the face with something I haven't thought of before. You wouldn't hold it against Zoe that she's neurotypical, would you? I don't hold it against anyone. You don't hold it against her that she doesn't have to be in therapy to feel good about herself, April says. No, of course not. And does she feel good about herself? I think so. I hope so, at least. Maybe I haven't asked her enough. What I have done is given her plenty of opportunity to walk away from me, but I've been too focused on myself to inquire much about her own well-being. I should make a point of asking her, but she seems fine. She always appears so confident and at ease with herself. Ask her, April says. The answer may surprise you. She rests her gaze on me. My point is, Anna, that every single one of us has stuff to deal with and work through, no matter our neurotype. Everyone has a story. Everyone suffers. For a split second there, I feel like she might burst into song again. This time the April Jenkins rendition of Everybody Hurts. But she doesn't. She just looks at me. I'll ask her tonight. I'll have no choice, now that April has planted the idea in my head that Zoe might be suffering, despite all evidence to the contrary. I need to make sure that she's fine. Good. But don't you go thinking that's your only homework assignment this week. A wide smile appears on her face. Trust me, I wasn't that hopeful. I'm glad we understand each other, she says. Try to find the words you couldn't find earlier when I asked you about friendship. And next time, try to tell me what it is you value about your friendship with Sean. I make a mental note, even though I have also learned that homework from my therapist is not the same as homework you're given in school. Maybe because this homework is about myself, and, deep down, I already know all the answers.
2. Zoe. Anna rolls her eyes and adds a sigh. What? I ask. I can't believe this woman has won 2 Oscars. She clearly can't act to save her life. Those 3 Oscars and the Academy would disagree with you. She sighs again. The Academy is bullshit. She shakes her head as though she has a very important point to make. I never agree with them, except when they give an Oscar to Meryl Streep. That's the only time I ever agree. She should get all the Oscars. I'm well aware of Anna's schedule with her therapist. She goes once a week on Wednesdays, and I'm learning to anticipate the difference in her energy when I see her after a session. Sounds like you should be a member of the Academy. She's sitting in an armchair, and I slip in next to her, even though there's no room for me. She accepts my intrusion by wrapping her arms around my waist. I so should, except that I couldn't bear it, you know. Maybe you could make it so that some Latinas get an Oscar instead of giving 3 to the same white woman. I nod at the TV screen. I don't even know who Anna's talking about, although I'm sure that whoever it is, she's white. I could list many a Latina who would be more deserving than... She stops talking. Was I ranting? Nah, you were being very amusing. A sound comes from the hallway and Anna stiffens. When is Brooklyn coming home? In time for dinner? Otherwise, she's in trouble. I repeat for the umpteenth time. I lean over and kiss her on the cheek. That wasn't the sound of Brooklyn coming home. Believe me, that is a much noisier affair. I should probably go before she gets here. You can stay, Anna. This is not a secret tryst. I smile down at her again.